Hi, this is Peter.
Hi, this is Sandra.
And we are medievalist.net.
And today we're doing an episode, the final season finale episode of
Full Metal Jousting.
Yes, so basically it came down to the quarterfinal match, which Shane Adams had both teams pick amongst each other who would represent their team.
Oh, this is the one for the $25,000.
Yeah, for the $25,000.
I wasn't really engaged in that kind of. I thought I think they had to kind of put it in, but to keep the rest of the people there, I guess, for that chance. But it seemed kind of it wasn't necessary.
What do you mean?
Like, if it wasn't there, I wouldn't have missed it. Like.
I think it was just added for kind of like to drum up some excitement and whatever, and who are they going to pick? And there was a little bit of tension on the red team between three people who all thought they deserved to go. Black team, it was much more cut and dry. They picked two people and then flipped a coin.
Yeah, so we have this kind of a match, and it was kind of it wasn't that particularly good. So it was.
Yeah, it was Rope Myers and John Stikes for the red team and Rope Myers for black. And it kind of was a ho-hum match. Like, it was just one miss after another. And, I kind of tuned out for that one.
Yeah, I think, we were like kind of watching, and it's like, they pass, and they missed, and they're getting frustrated. And there's like, one guy gets lucky and gets a little, dink, But
sorry. I haven't heard that word dink since elementary school.
And what dink?
Ding. Ding. It's a G. Anyways, yeah. And Rope Myers wins it, but not in an impressive or heroic fashion, kind of like Peter said.
Yeah.
Like, someone gets lucky and that's it.
He kind of said, like, we both had bad days, and I just kind of came out ahead. So it wasn't, and, like, I think everyone there was, like, disappointed, so.
Yeah, I think also Avery, Josh Avery, was disappointed because he wanted to compete for the red team. And people felt sorry for John Stikes, so they gave him another chance, which he blew horrifically.
Yeah.
I think had Avery been given the chance, he would have come away with $25,000. But that's okay, because that was a kind of meh joust, and then we got to the real meat and potatoes of the episode, which was the finale.
Yes, Josh Knowles.
And Matt Hiltman. What did you think?
Well, first of all, I love how Josh kind of talks. I'm going to go out there, gotta do it for my daughter, and gotta focus, all that kind of stuff. Very.
It's like, and you will lose.
Yes, yeah.
Looks right in the camera, and you must die.
It's like deadpan comedy almost, but and he's got that presence.
He's like, and you are in my way.
Yeah.
Resistance is futile. He's almost like a Borg or something. It's kind of funny. You're right.
And Matt, like, they didn't really Matt was, he's all pumped up. That's, I think that's the only thing I could say about him.
Matt was incredible because he had that injury, like, right there, near his groin, or was it a groin injury, I guess?
It was the leg, yeah.
And he went all the way to the end, and he did such a good job. It was neck and neck, and Matt was in the lead, and this guy's, like, still got a lot of pain, so for him to come that far, I wonder, had he not, had the injury, do you think he might have won?
It's hard to tell, like, it's, both those guys were really good competitors, like, and you can almost see how different, like, those two guys are compared to the other two that fought for the $25,000, just in terms of skill, like how much more focused and driven these guys are. So
it was funny that one comment from Jack. He's like, "This isn't medieval times. Bring your slants down," because a lot of them are the theatrical jousters.
Well, I think
You know?
both Josh and Matt, that's their background, and one thing I have to say, it really does I guess for all the kind of people that kind of thought, well, people that do the medieval times, they don't know what they're doing and stuff like that. Well, they obviously do have some abilities at this. They have some knowledge because, really, out of the last few competitors, a lot of them were theatrical jousters.
This is true. People, mock the medieval time thing, and maybe in terms of realism and whatever, they're running around with chainmail, sparkly sweaters. But in terms of just what Peter said, that the last men standing were the theatrical jousters.
Mm-hmm.
And the colossal battle last week between Josh Avery and Josh Knowles, it was, theatrical jouster versus theatrical jouster, and one taught the other. So I guess there's something to be said for, they might not teach them everything, but they certainly have come away with an advantage.
Yeah, and I think you kind of see that through here. Like they just knew
versus
how,
show jumpers or steer wranglers or whatever.
Yeah, I think they knew. First of all, they knew probably how to control the horse in that kind of how to in that particular type of gallop and stuff like that. So I think that's really part of it. So.
Yeah, and I really compared to the sleeper joust that went before with Rope and John. This one was just like an edge of your seat, blow for blow, neck and neck. And Matt was kind of winning for a while, and it came down to almost like a sudden death.
Yeah, it was this last kind of pass, and you kind of watch it, and you're not quite sure what happens because they kind of didn't show us too many replays.
It's like the hockey instant replay when they go up to the the
judges are conferring,
and they're like, goal. So in the end, spoiler alert, Josh Knowles wins.
Yeah, he breaks his lance, he gets the 5 points and pushes him 1 point over Matt.
And it's 17-16, and it was a colossal joust, and he takes home $100,000, and Shane Adams was saying how no one in the history of jousting has jousted for this kind of money. Certainly not in the Middle Ages.
I don't know.
$100,000? I don't think so.
I'm sure there were some jousts that there was quite the prize at the end. So usually their lives.
The maiden's hand, or whatever.
The princess.
Right, because they're all princesses, right. Anyways, but it was a great, great finale. That final joust was intense, just really, really what you want to see for jousting, and I'm kind of hoping that there is a season 2, and I wonder what they would do differently, or
you see,
the format might change or what.
Like, I think one thing I would like to see is more of the professional, like the ones, Shane and the other, kind of ones that were kind of coaching, them taking part in these jousts too. Like, I'd like this.
But they can't.
Well,
Shane's the MC, and he can't exactly go for $100,000. They're probably paying him $100,000.
Yeah. No, well, I would.
to do the show.
I would be interested, to see more of a competition, as opposed to having got a whole bunch of new guys. I'd like to see the 12 or 16 best jousters in the world kind of go at it.
Oh, okay. You mean in the circuit?
Yeah, in the circuit, have it in front of big crowds, something like that. Because I'd really like to see how, people that have been doing this for years, and just have that kind of battle, with these different guys and show it that.
I think having it in front of a bunch of people might be difficult. You have to, there's a lot of stuff around that, and concentration and what have you. I don't know how.
Well, they do have this is stuff they would have at the medieval fair, right? Like that, when we get to see it, and it's you can watch the crowds there and things like that to kind of cheer it on, right? And so. Like I think that can be done. Like I think like this show one thing like they kind of set this off on like a kind of farm rural area without any crowd. I could see it was done for cost reasons too, right? To kind of the only people there are the contestants and they're like the red and black team and stuff like that. But I'd like to see it like a bit more
I think
splashy.
Too, because some of the jousters were theatrical, they're used to crowds, but some of these guys are like, well, no, maybe you're right. There were show jumpers and what have you there, but I think splashy would be interesting. But then one of the things I liked about this show was that it wasn't over the top.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like wrestling in armor.
Yeah.
It was real. Like, these guys are really talented. Mm-hmm. They don't have to drum up drama or personality. It's, can you ride a horse? Mm-hmm. Can you follow instructions? Can you hit your opponent? There was very little reality TV drama. It was there in bits and pieces because it's got to be there. I understand that. But I liked that it wasn't flashy.
I liked a lot of the learning aspects. Like they really, because again, like the audience that they're kind of reaching, doesn't know very much about the rules of this jousting and thing, and the training, all the stuff that has to go into it. And so there's a lot of kind of like educating the audience in this show, which I don't know if it's going to be necessary in future seasons, right? Like. So that's where I'm kind of thinking, like, do they go back and do the same kind of educating the audience and bringing, 16 guys and stuff like that? But I would see like something a little more, with the best jousters.
They might have to because I mean, like any show, once it becomes a series, even take like something like Survivor, they have like Survivor 9052 right now, whatever it's up to. Mm-hmm. And they've been doing this for like 12 years, and they still have to explain about voting people off the island. Yeah. So, I mean, I think because every season there are those people who have never, believe it or not, never seen the show before. Yeah. So they don't know about this Grand Guard thing, and, especially this is second season. Right, so if it gets more professional, like you want,
well,
they definitely have to get more technical.
We could do celebrity jousters.
That's so ghetto. That would make it a horrible show. I never want to see George Clooney jousting.
I don't think they get George Clooney.
Heath Ledger was one thing. Maybe rest in peace. But, yeah, no, or put like Jack Black on a horse. No thanks.
I don't think they could get those kind of celebrities on it. For the $100,000, you'd probably be getting, he was the extra on the Love Boat season 4, episode 12. He's the one that you see his back. I'm just kidding.
That'd be funny. Yeah, so you're talking about like L-level celebrities. But anyway.
Hey, maybe we could be, the jousters.
I have no.
Do you want to be a jouster? I think you do well.
No, number one, I'd spook a horse. I've done horseback riding. I'm okay at it, I guess, but the idea of charging at someone with a lance would just not work. Plus, it wouldn't work for me logistically. I actually have to ask Shane about that.
I'm sure you could do it. I think, yeah. I'm going to ask Shane to see if you could be on season 2. That's okay. We're not really thinking you're going to win. I just like to see you eat dirt. She went down. If it's certainly possible, someone's going to get 80...
When we're walking down the street, I'm going to push him into the fence.
I think someone would be able to fight Sandra and get 80 points. Every pass.
Anyways, right. And I'd pay good money to see you fall off a horse and eat sand.
Well, maybe...
And get your cage rattled. Anyhow.
Sandra and I. Full Metal Jousting season 2.
No, highly unlikely. But, yeah, it was a great show. I think I enjoyed it. It wasn't over the top. There was a lot of technical stuff. I can tell with these guys, they took it very seriously. I didn't watch it going, oh man, this is a joke. Because, you know, I went into this with trepidation, like, oh, this could be really, really cornball. But it actually turned out to be a really serious thing. Shane Adams took the whole thing very seriously. There weren't any fake personalities. It wasn't wrestling in armor. It was just, honest to God, just jousting.
It was good sport.
It was a good sport. Yeah. It was like watching sport, you know. I enjoyed it. And yes, the armor is made a bit more modern and whatever, and they have their safety precautions that have been modernized, but that's what it is when you know, it's a dangerous sport. So I for what it was and how it was modernized and how it mixed the medieval and the modern, I liked it.
Yeah, I really, you know, like, I liked the show too. I think we watched all these episodes, and I thought, like, we got into it, and I liked it. I'm glad that History Channel US and History Television here in Canada, they aired it, and I hope they bring it back for another season.
Me too. So if they do bring it back, you'll see us doing second season of
Full Metal Jousting.
Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.